Alright, we're going to be looking at Savitz, who is playing Lifeweaver on Esperanca. This is Masters 5 on PC. I've been playing Lifeweaver mainly for the last 2 seasons. I would like some input on where I can improve. I'm fairly confident in my Spire ability healing, however, I believe I can make better use of the petal and tree. Any help would be appreciated. Thanks. So, this will be my first Lifeweaver review ever. I have actually not been playing I haven't played this season at all. Last season I played somewhat, not a ton. So basically, since Lifeweaver was introduced, I haven't played so much. Also, at the rank that I play, which is High Masters Low GM, I can't remember actually playing against a Lifeweaver in a competitive game. So the only time that I run into Lifeweaver is in quick play. So that's part of the reason why I've been kind of avoiding doing a review of Lifeweaver. But I do think that it's probably about time that I try to do a review. Hopefully it'll be helpful. I do think that having pre-watched this replay, I think there's a lot of stuff I can still talk about. So this is my first review for Lifeweaver ever. I'm going to talk through the kit very quickly. So left click is going to be, depending on how you have it bound, probably left click. So left click is going to be your heal. The biggest thing that I noticed from having gone to the wiki, his heal is really bad. It's really unfortunate. It goes out pretty far. It's like 30 meters. It tracks the target, which is great. It doesn't go through barriers, which is pretty typical. Not that many heals go through barriers. But the most important thing is that the heal per second is really low. It's only 57, 58-ish, which is bad. Mercy, for example, has 55 healing per second, and she's one of the worst healers in the game. So Lifer's healing is just not that good. It's flexible. You can put it out pretty far. It tracks automatically. You can charge it up, right, and be able to pop it right when someone needs it, which is great. That sort of increases the effective healing per second a little bit because you can burst heal somebody right at the start. But in general, I don't think you can be a main healer, right? You can't be an Ana, you can't be a Kiriko, you can't be a Baptiste, you can't be a Moira. You're really going to occupy kind of the utility support position. I'm going to avoid terms like main support, flex support, because those are OWL terms, and I don't think it applies to competitive ranked play at all. So something to note is that you should basically always be paired with a primary healer, right? So for example, if I see that the other healer has picked Zenyatta, and my tank is let's say a Reinhardt, I don't think you can play Lifeweaver competitively at high ranks with that composition. I just think you'll have a really bad time. So this is something to think about is how much healing does your team need? Is Lifeweaver going to fit the bill? I think that Lifeweaver fits the spot of a utility support Lucio or Zenyatta or Brig, right? And I don't think you can be paired with them unless your team is very, very self-sufficient. Anyway, that's number one. The healing's only about 57 health a second. Number two, Thorn Volley. Thorn Volley does a ton of damage. Wow, I looked at the wiki. 132 damage a second is nuts, so no damage fall off. Granted, it spreads, but against tanks or a pinned target or someone who's not looking at you or dodging, that's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. 132 damage a second, and you can headshot, means you can do up to 230 damage a second. That's a lot of damage. So you can actually mess people up at close range. Granted, you have a giant hitbox, you have the largest hitbox of all the supports, I think. So you don't want to be taking duels, but if someone's close to you, you can blow them up pretty quickly. So that's something to note. It's just a lot of damage, but not something you're going to be doing very often. Number three is talking about Petal Platform. So Petal Platform raises somebody up in the air. Everyone's already seen this. The cooldown is 12 seconds, which is a medium-ish cooldown. I wouldn't throw it away for nothing, obviously, but you could definitely put it sometimes where you're hey, let's see what happens. A lot of Lifeweaver tips are putting Petal Platform down preemptively in case your team needs it, which I think is a great tip, and I will note that. But 12 seconds is what we're looking at. The next one is Grip. So Grip is going to be a 16-second cooldown, which is long. That's definitely long. It's one of the longest support cooldowns in the game. Obviously, Lamp is way higher than that, but we're talking higher than Sleep, for example. So Grip is a big deal ability. And you got to be very, very careful when you grip. I think that probably bad versus good grips are what distinguish Masters level Lifeweavers from lower ranked ones. Just because if you're wasting grip, you're probably going to lose the fight. And lastly, you have your dash, which only moves you horizontally. It doesn't give you vertical, and it heals you for 50 health. But it's on a 5-second cooldown. But that basically makes it a worse version than Moira's Fade in every single possible way, except for the fact that it heals you, which is unfortunate. Obviously, a lot of people think Lifeweaver is underpowered. I would still agree that I think Lifeweaver is underpowered. I think his win rates indicate that he's still underpowered. He's still only winning 43% or whatever. So probably a lot of his kit's still going to get tuned repeatedly to be buffed around. But that's where we're at. Also, Tree of Life. Tree of Life is his ultimate. You pop Tree, it heals 150 instantly, and then it heals 75 over 8 pulses. Each pulse is 1.75 seconds apart, I think. So it heals 750 total. If they get healed for over their normal health, they get over health, which is great. And also blocks line of sight. I think it's got 1,000 health or so, something along that lines. All right, let's talk about the game. Pedal platform, you come up top. This is great. Oh, one thing to note. Talking about your role as like a utility support. So Lifeweaver's whole kit is reactive. It's not proactive. You can't go out there and make a play. Like Kiriko can go out there and get a pick. Moira can dive in and get a pick. Right? Zenyatta can get a pick. Right? Baptiste can just crank out damage, lots of good stats, healing damage, etc. Right? Ana could sleep somebody. Ana could throw a grenade. Right? Very very proactive type support. Those are just areas where those other supports excel. You're kind of like Brig, in which case you're a reactive support. You're going to be doing more so about reading the fight, being in the right position to react to what happens, and saving your team. And the issue here, why you lose this game, is you're just not in the right position at the right time. And this fight is so close. This game is really, really close. It comes down to one fight. Win/loss would have changed it, so it comes down to the last fight. And if you'd won literally one more fight, you would have won this game. So that's the biggest thing that I will note here is you're out of position in sometimes. And the second thing I would note is that you're going to let people die. Standing here, this is fine. Nothing super interesting. One thing to note is, do you really want to be all the way back here? Because I would say no, right? I think you want to be playing close here because you want to be able to see your Junker Queen. There's no reason to be playing this far back. You're going to be playing out here because this puts you in a reactive spot, okay? Unless I see a Hanzo or I see a Widow, there's 0% chance that I can die from here. So I can just stay out here, it's fine, right? Even Mercy pocketed Ashe, right? Even Ashe here with Pocket cannot kill you. She'll only do 195 damage with a headshot. So you literally cannot die. Also, you have 225 health. You literally cannot die if you stand here. So I think you should be standing here, not here. Little things like this, and you're going to get punished for it later on. You got to get back out there. Right? You start healing the Junker Queen. Right? Heal the soldier, that's fine. One thing to note is the Ana's looking at the soldier, so I'm going to cool. If the Ana's going to look at the soldier, then I'm going to look at the Junker Queen. So that somebody's got to be healing the tank. You can't just ignore the tank completely, otherwise the tank's going to lose space. So your Ana's going to take some flack here. You should have heard that right now and start healing your Ana. Your priority here is healing the Ana, not healing the soldier. Okay, the Ana's clearly can heal the soldier, that's fine. You drop here. This loses the fight. This little move dropping off the bridge is going to lose the fight, and I'm going to explain why over the course of the next 60 seconds or so. But the short answer is by dropping off the bridge, you lose your ability to see what is going on, and thus you don't have the ability to react to what's going on. Okay? There's no reason to drop from the bridge. You're at full health right now. There's a tracer on your flank, but A, there's a soldier in front of you, so you're not the primary target. B, you're behind cover, and C, the tracer's really far away. Tracer here, even if you were standing still and the tracer's shooting at you, is only going to do 60 damage a second, so you're not going to die here. There's no way, between spread and fall off, there's no way that you're going to die here. You should just heal the Ana, right? Stayed here, heal the Ana, played up here, spam the tracer as needed, right? And gone right back to trying to figure out, hey, what's going on the front line? What can I do to help? And it comes out in your play where you're like, look, I'm confident in my survivability, I'm confident in my healing. Why am I still losing games? You're losing games because you're not having enough impact. You're playing too safe. You're over-prioritizing your own safety. And that's something I think that is kind of a problem for players because they climb by being selfish, especially as supports, they climb by being selfish by staying alive. Because obviously, if you're dead, you can't make plays. And so they figure out what safety means and they try to play as safe as possible. As you will learn as you start approaching high masters and GM, that's not acceptable. Because the safer you are, the less value you can typically provide because you're too far back. So the best supports are not the ones who are 100% safe all game. The best supports are the ones who are constantly in danger, but never in enough danger that they're actually going to die or not be able to do their job, right? The best support is the one who consistently gets low, draws enemy attention, does damage, does great healing, uses great utility, and never dies. Or never dies, at least dies first. But you're playing crazy safe back here. You see how far the Junker Queen is? This is not unreasonable. It's totally fine for the Junker Queen to be playing here. But both of her supports have been forced back by one Tracer and Symmetra spam. That's unacceptable. You can't be doing this. And your Junker Queen luckily reads this and doesn't die, but it's totally your fault for not being further up / staying on the bridge at least. Alright, you dash forward, I think recognizing that you're out of position, you try to save the Junker Queen. Right, you're healing. Notice that this fight goes on right now, now you can't help because you're on low ground. If you've been in high ground, you can heal the Junker Queen and heal your soldier and or fought off the Tracer. You were never in any danger at all. Note here is that you use pedal platform and you see the Torb is at 2/3 health right here, the Junker Queen's full, and your soldier's at half health. By the time you come back up, your Torb is nearly dead, your Ana is nearly dead, and your soldier is fine. And this is what I mean by not being on bridge costs you this fight. If you're here, it's an easy save on the Ana, then an easy save on the Torb, and so forth. But because you're slow, because you're playing so far back, the Ana gets super low and she's going to get killed to Symmetra spam here, which is bad. As soon as that's happened, like you've now lost. Also, while this happens, your Torb's going to die too. Right? He gets javelin shot, right? Overload, and then he's going to die. If you were here, you can save him. With grip or heal, either one would have saved him easily, right? Same thing for your Ana. You could have saved both of these heroes. Now that you've lost both of them, this fight's basically over because it's a 3-on-5. Except your soldier frags out, right? You kill the tracer at least, so you trade. So now it's a 3-on-3. So maybe winnable, and I think actually you do end up winning this. But typically speaking, that's going to result in a lost fight. So you need to be walking forwards. I don't think you realize it's a 3-on-3, right? You see your Junker Queen's advancing, advance, right? Just advance. You got to go with her. Also, I want to note the grip. So, I guess this grip's okay, actually. I think this grip's actually okay. Yeah, this grip's fine. There's a one later that I don't like. Alright, we're just chilling for now. I would take high ground back, right? No reason not to go back to bridge right now. Just go back bridge, right? Use battle platform, get back on bridge. I think even if you weren't playing going bridge, I think I would suggest putting a battle platform for when your DPS and support come back for them to get up on bridge without you having to think about it. Alright, heals, it's fine. Yep, this is all pretty regular. Obviously nothing super exciting here. I don't think your aim is great. I understand that it's a projectile, but like this doesn't look like you play, for example, Zenyatta, because your aim is, you're not tracking well. So you should constantly be healing. Oh, you're gonna reload here. I can't believe Lifeweaver has ammo. Honestly, like at a minimum, I would just remove the ammo requirement for Lifeweaver because like it's not like ammo should be reserved only for people where the ammo is significant, and Lifeweaver, like the ammo's not significant anyway, so why bother? So your Junker Queen's gonna get low here. You're gonna grip. This is a bad grip. Your Junker Queen's already behind cover here and is fully safe. Like you don't need to heal here. Your Ana's gonna be back. Grenades coming in. You did not need to grip here. I think this is a bad grip. Tracer's back there, fine, whatever. Yeah, good platform. See, that's the pedal platform I think you should have had earlier for your Ana to get back to the high ground. But Ana's playing high ground. Yep, just keep him alive. I think this is a reasonable situation for Tree. The thing is, Tree's just not very good ultimate. It's like, fine. You know, I think we're probably throwing it out kind of like Coalescence, which is like, it's not a strong ultimate, so let's just pop it in any sort of neutral scenario and see if it's enough for a win, which is okay. Like, I don't know that I love this, but it's not terrible. So Orisa's gonna run into you, and two errors that are about to happen. Well, one has already happened, and one is going to happen. The error that already happened is that you don't have pedal platform available. Why don't you have pedal platform available? Because you use it to lift your Ana. Why did you have to use it to lift your Ana? Because you didn't put pedal platform down earlier, as I said, to let your Ana regain high ground. That's mistake number one. Mistake number two is the Orisa's going to come in. You should save your mobility cooldowns for after she pulls you in, because she's clearly going to ult here, right? I think that if you're a Masters 5, you have to look at this and be like, I'm going to get ulted. You should wait until after you get pulled in, then do your leap out. Instead, you leap out early, which means she just walks up and then pulls you right back in. You should die to this. You're extremely lucky that you do not die to this. But I'm just noting that at higher ranks, this is not going to happen like this. In fact, I would say most of the time this happens even in Masters 5. You're going to die. Don't use the movement ability until after you've been pulled in, unless you know for sure you're going to get out of range. But your dash moves you such a small distance that I would not be confident. See, like, that's not enough to get out of range. So she's going to pull you right back in, and this should be a kill on you. Unfortunately, she screws up. Still stay able to stay alive. You should just reload, right? Finish the kill. Great. You should be aiming for the head. I can already tell from your tracking here, like, you should be tracking at head level this close, but you see you're only tracking, like, low, really, really, really low, right? And just going across her body. So aim is definitely something that would help improve the value you can get. It's not such a big deal in Lifeweaver, but just noting is that if you do plan on playing any other aim line heroes, it's important to have good aiming mechanics. Reese is going to get rezzed here. Could you have known this is coming? I think it's reasonable to do what you did where you went in to try to save the Ana. You recognize that she's kind of in danger. Come here. I think this grip is probably a little early. You should have known that the Tracer was going to be reloading. So she's going to kill this turret, right? So she blinks here, and then you pull right away. So you should have known that you could have waited another half second to pull. It's a very small optimization, but I'm telling you, as you start heading towards GM, like stuff like this is gonna matter. You pulled too early, which is gonna allow the tracer to find her target and then be able to continue applying pressure. Versus if you pulled right when she started shooting, she'd miss her clip and have to reload and then start. Anyway, that's kind of one minor issue. So the Orisa is going to die here. Res is going to happen, but you could hear this res coming. There was a way that you could have stopped this. You could have put Petal Platform down under the Mercy, and then the Junker Queen would have walked up and then lifted her off the ground. That would have been a huge play. And I think that when we're talking the difference between, Masters Lifeweavers and GM Lifeweavers, these are probably the things that we're looking for. And I'm speculating a little bit because, again, I don't see Lifeweavers in GM. But like little things like that, you have to always be thinking about your Petal Platform and the type of value you can provide from it, right? Preventing the res here would be big, obviously a really big play. You would have prevented the Orisa res and then possibly killed the Mercy too, being out of position. Anyway, your grip from earlier means that you can't do anything about the Tracer Bomb now. She's gonna go in, sticks, nothing you can do. Again, I understand your previous grip. I don't know that you needed it, but I understand why you did it. I think that was fine. I probably would have done the same thing. But now you have no tools left to help your team. So Kitsune's up. They have the Orisa. You're down your Ana. You're down your Soldier. There's basically nothing you can do, so you're gonna die. All right, we're in reset territory. You're gonna sit here for a while, just healing people up, chilling. All right. The Sim's gonna die at some point. Alright, so Zarya gets a pick on the Sim. Yep, you're going forwards. So something to note is, like, why are you so far back? Like, you need to be walking forwards. I know I think there's a Tracer on your flank, but you need to walk forwards and get yourself into the middle of the team. You're consistently too far back. You're playing like we're in Ana would. But you need to follow up with the team. The thing is, this Soldier is too far away now for you to help. I think... Oh yeah, the Kiriko even went to him. So at this point, I just ignore completely. Once you realize the Kiriko goes for him, just follow your tank. You need to just follow your tank now. Alright, see, now you're slow. Alright, great. So, let's talk about this Orisa ulti. Did you need to grip right here? I would say no. Because she just gets pulled in now. She's close. She's close to the wall already when she gets gripped. Or when she gets ulted. So, it's like very fast, but... Like, she has more than enough time to get around the corner here. Like, she's not going to die instantly to this. I would have saved the grip right now. Your Zarya is the safest of everyone, even though she, like, has, quote-unquote, like, low health. But the thing is, she has 220, which actually gives her more health than, for example, the Kiriko here, right? The Kiriko here is in real danger. The Torb is sort of in danger, depending on which direction he goes. I would save grip here and look for a better grip target, because the Zarya here, I think, was good no matter what. But Suzu goes off. The Orisa should have popped it right now, because this should kill the Torb, but she doesn't do it. This is like a big throw by her. And then you should have gripped the Torb right now. Would have been the correct move. Your Zarya's going to die to this because she walks back into it. This is not your fault, obviously. She gets worried about the Torb, and so she like steps up a little bit to bubble him for no real reason, and then dies. But that might have been preventable if you had gripped the Torb, and then your Zarya would have been so worried the Torb was going to die. Because the Torb for sure was going to die there, right? She was at 340, the Torb was going to die. We trade tanks at least. Both tanks are playing really poorly. As a reminder, your heal does not go through walls, including barriers, including Symmetra wall, so you got to make sure to get on the other side of it. So you go out, you heal. I think you were better off going here, pedaling up, and playing high ground, right? And this is part of the general trend where you're so far back. Like, I would have been up here healing because you're in no danger here, right? You have to understand, like, what is danger? This is not danger here. Against an Orisa, a Tracer, and a Kiriko, I am not in any danger as Lifeweaver up here. No problem, right? With all my cooldowns, worst case scenario, I just have to dash away and I'm good. You're not in any danger. You're playing way too safe. Right, you get your Torb back up. Tracer comes in behind you. So the Torb is going to die right now. Is this your fault? You could have saved them here, for the record. I think you slowed down too much to deal with the Tracer. Like, you could have just gone the inside corner right now. But I think mostly this is on your Torb and your Kiriko for not reacting to this. Because your Kiriko has Suzu as well. But you could have theoretically saved this Torb if you'd actually been running full speed. You see, it's like very close. Like if you just turned to the right, you could have gripped him out of that. But I wouldn't expect that to be a problem in that situation. I think that's just unfortunate. Like on a grand scheme of mistakes, I would say that's a very minor one. Okay, so you're going to lose your Zarya here. So your Zarya's going to push up, right? You should be following your Zarya in. You should be following your Zarya in. Like, why are you playing so far back? Again, consistent theme where you're playing so safe. Like, you're not safer from the Tracer by playing further back. You're safer from the Tracer if you play closer to your Zarya. Zarya's pushing in. Both of your supports, right? You and the other support are looking at the Tracer. Zarya's going to get in trouble. You should have pedal platformed up and gripped her out. Instead, you do not do those things, right? You see the Zarya up there. She's critical. She's critical. She's critical. She's critical. You're waiting for the heal. That heal, even if it landed, was not going to save her life. She was going to die there, right? You had to grip out of that. That was a mistake. And without Zarya, you're going to die. All right, I'm going to be like less micro now and just kind of like talk through things overall. Moving forwards, is this a good tree of life? I think this is reasonable, right? They're popping Kitsune. You didn't know exactly what was going on. I don't think you actually need tree here because Kitsune was popped with just 2 supports there, so I don't know what the heck this is, but I think in general using tree to counter Kitsune is probably a good idea. I think in this scenario your team didn't need it, but I don't think you necessarily knew that because you were late coming back to the fight. So you should have heard / seen the Tracer. I would not have used dash here, right? As soon as you use dash, you're very predictable and easy to kill. So I would not have used dash here. I would just walked it and then have dash available in case something like this happens. Don't jump. Jumping is bad. Jumping is how you get killed. You could have gripped the Kiriko to save her there, just in case that explosion would have killed her. Alright, moving forward. Oh, wait, we just grabbed? Why did we grab here? Oh, she's grabbing the ball. That's a bad call. Man, this is what Masters 5 looks like now. So, this is fine. You're basically just holding high ground. I would note, like, hey, can I see the whole team? Because you can only see 2 people right now. Your Zarya's down there. Looks like you're good for now. Yep, it's fine. I think this position's fine. I would not drop front land like that. I don't think there's any reason for you to drop front. I would have dropped back if anything. But I don't know why you pedal platform here. You grip the Torb out. Do you give him a heal though? Yeah, so you heal your Zarya here instead of continuing to heal the Torb, even though you knew the Torb was low when you gripped him. Like, your next heal should be going to the Torb. Instead, it's going to the Zarya, who's full health, right? And then you're not quick enough to heal the Torb again. I think this is a mistake. I think the Torb is also making a mistake, but the Torb is also just not really in position to be able to do anything else. Right, he's going to get gripped here. Yeah, he just gets shredded. But you should have been healing the Torb there, not your Zarya, who's full health. So, more healing, it's fine. You got to get through the other side of the barrier. Yep, this is fine. So, you will know right here, I already see it. I see the soldier's critical. This heal that you're charging should be going to the soldier. Is it going to the soldier? It is not. Right? You start popping at the Kiriko or the Zarya, whichever ends up being, into the wall. It's tough, right? Because it's a big reaction time thing. I would say if you want to climb into higher levels of support, that's a reasonable reaction time for you to have been able to do something about it. I think that heal should have been going to the soldier, and it should have been a save, if not a grip towards the soldier. Right? A grip would have been very tight, but the heal for sure should have been on the soldier. You could have healed and then gripped. But yeah, with soldier down, Torb down, you're down 2. Very hard to win. Ball's coming out. It seems like you're using Kitsune or Tree to counter Kitsune as like a typical thing, which is okay. Yeah, like I said, I think that's reasonable. I probably would have seen like what exactly was developing here and seeing how far forward I want to put the tree. I think this tree is too far backwards. I think you're too worried about the ball, even though the ball is not a threat at all. Like, this ball is not going to die. Like, there's no world where this ball dies to you. I think it would have been more important for me to look at my front line and be like, hey, how can I help people down here versus how can I try to kill the ball, right? Like, this Orisa is easily savable in this situation. She's just getting worked down solely by spam. Like, you have grip here and you have heal. There's no reason for your Orisa to die there. Very lucky to keep capping this. Ball's going after Soldier. You're fine. This is tough because your Torb's gonna die here. I think that gripping is reasonable, understanding the Torb can be one shot right now. So I think gripping would have been reasonable there, but it's also not the worst mistake if to not grip. But I think gripping is the right call here. As soon as he drops below 120, he's killable, right? With a one shot, or what is it now? 2.5? Something like that. So it's like 100-ish damage, but regardless, this Torb is vulnerable. Oh, is it like 115? Yeah, the Torb dies at 104, so. So just chilling, right? Trying to keep your team up. You got to walk forwards now with them. The next fight's not happening here. The next fight's happening over here, right? By trolley. You have to already be here. And I think you're worried about the Tracer in the back, but like, what are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be in the back line trying to fight the Tracer. You want to be focused on healing your front line. I think you really need to be stepping up here. See? Like, no one's looking at the Orisa, which is creating a problem. Good call here, not gripping. You recognize that the Suzu was off and she might have been out of range anyway, so you're good. So, fight's gonna happen on your left. You're gonna hear the fighting on your left. So your Soldier's chasing after the ball. Okay, you're just attacking far down. This is a bad call. You can hear the fight on Soldier on your left. You need to be looking at this fight on your left. And then you need to be coming over ASAP to heal. Kiriko comes in, good call, right? Soldier's gonna get double teamed and he gets killed. This is an easy save for you, right? While this is going on, see, you're not doing anything. You were just spamming Thorn Volley from a mile away. I think it's very frustrating as a Soldier to not have you like recognize that he needed help there, right? Because their support went in to help their ball, but you didn't go in to help your Soldier, and that's going to cost you this fight. Torb manages to kill ball, which is great. We're keeping people alive for now, which is good. But you have to get a lot of space here, which is unfortunate. You pop tree here again. So it's interesting why you pop tree. I feel like you pop tree because your Orisa's low, but your Orisa's also purple. Like, maybe you're trying to block LOS, but I think this was a risky tree. I think that Orisa easily could have died to that. Yeah, I think right call to attack here. Good. Alright, now we're going to keep advancing. So we're entering final fight territory, right? 45 seconds left. You're going to have a long way to respawn to get back to this, so. Last fight. Something to think about is, hey, what ultimates do they have? What have I not seen? So Ball just switched to Zarya, so I don't have to worry about that ultimate. You saw Kiriko Kitsune last fight, so that's good. You have not seen Pulse Bomb, so Pulse Bomb is something you should be holding grip for, and you haven't seen Nano, something you should be worried for, and you haven't seen Simwall. So those are 3 things you got to think about and be ready to react to. I think it would also be reasonable to just put Pedal Platform here and play in the sky. They don't have any range damage here except for the Ana, any consistent range damage except for the Ana. So if you want to play Pedal Platform and just play in the sky right now, I think it's a great call. Like, you're totally immune up there. You can see anybody from any direction. You can pull people up to you and save if necessary. Removes the Tracer threat on you completely. I think that's reasonable, right? If you think about it, if you were in the sky the whole time, you'd been in way better shape. You'd have to drop off the platform right away. The problem is this sim wall is going to cut you off. Like, you have to step forwards. You have to step forwards here. Right? I notice that your healing is like blocked by the wall. You have to step forwards. Have to step forwards. You're slow to heal there. Right? You're trying to heal the Kiriko, but your healing doesn't go through the wall. So all these heals are being missed. Then the Kiriko does swift step to you, and then you don't heal her. You instead try to heal the Torb, looks like. Yeah, you're too late to heal. That allows the Kiriko to die. Once the Kiriko dies, you have to grip the Orisa, keep her alive, but now there's just not enough sustain. I also don't think your Orisa is actually in danger of dying. So she has Fortify right now, which means at the moment that... Oh, actually, she loses it right then. So she's at 184 health. Yeah, I mean, she's definitely vulnerable right now. Now she pops Fortify. But I would have focused more on the Torb, especially since the Torb has been overextended all game. And then you're going to barely scoot a little bit further. Pulse goes off. You're good. Nano gets popped, and now what do? I think good call taking platform up to try to avoid Nano being an issue. You grip up, that's fine. Yep. Yeah, keep your Orisa up as long as you can. Yeah, without your Ana, you just don't have enough sustain here, right? You just don't heal enough. Interesting call. So you pedal your DPS, or you pedal the slept Sombra up to try to save her life. Soldier happens to take the ride up. I think this is a good call. I actually really like that platform. I think that you gave them the best chance you could at winning, and then once you're here, like you're in big trouble. Yeah, but I think you just lost. You lost too many going into that fight. Okay, recapping. Two things. Number one is you're playing too safe, right? You need to put yourself into a better position to be reactive to whatever's happening in the fight. You're playing way too far back. It's okay to let the Tracer shoot at you sometimes, right? I would say often it's okay to let the Tracer shoot at you sometimes. Unless she's doing meaningful damage, like let's say 75 to 100 damage per second, you can often just totally ignore her and do whatever your actual job is. The Tracer got tons of value just by bothering you and the other support and forcing you back away from your tank and away from your DPS. That's number one. Number two, there's a lot of saves that you missed in this game, right? A lot of opportunities where you could have kept somebody alive and kept the fight going, but you didn't. If you make even one of those opportunities, that might have changed this game. But you had, I want to ballpark and say it's like 6 avoidable deaths that you could have saved, which is really big, really big. And I think you could have saved basically every single one of them, except maybe like one was unreasonable. Yeah, I think that's a good start for now. Let me know how helpful this was, and I'm hoping this is useful, and I'll keep doing Lifeweaver reviews in the future.